Hello my fellow healers, we have survived update 43 unscathed. It was a third update of the year, known for meta setting, meta changing, and controversies in the past. Breathe in and let's get on with theory crafting. Today I am sharing with you my very subjective ranking of healer classes and what I think would be a best order of operation in building your very own army of healer characters in Elder Scrolls Online. We will rank the classes against multiple criteria. Healing output. How well is the class equipped with sources of healing for various realistic endgame PVE scenarios? Offensive utility. What kind of unique and generic offensive utilities does this class bring to the table? Defensive utility. We will consider both unique and generic buffs, debuffs, and shields here. Ease of play. How easy it is to learn and master. And let's get on with our rankings from least preferable to the king of the healing. So at number 7 is Dragonknight Healer. And before all the Dragonknight Healer mains throw their stagger rocks at me, hear me out. Healing output is at 2 stars. Dragonknight Healers have decent healing capabilities, but their output isn't as high as other classes because their class HUD Cinderstorm has a smaller area of effect compared to other HUDs, making it less reliable in later trials and dungeons that emphasize movement. Dragonknights shine in offensive utility, and it's at 5 stars here. They provide unique debuffs such as Stagger and Engulfing Flames, which are crucial for enhancing group damage. They also offer AoE major sorcery and brutality buffs, which are highly valuable, allowing DDs and healers to use tripods or ultipods in organized PvE content. Their defensive utility is at 2 stars. Defensively, Dragonknights fall rather short. Their shields have smaller reach compared to that of other classes such as Arcanists, and their defensive options are minimal and not as impactful. Ease of play is at 1 star. Maintaining stagger requires significant stamina and frequent casting, making the Dragonknight challenging to play effectively as a healer. Balancing stagger with healing duties complicates this role, making them less synergistic in healing capacity. At number 6 we have Sorcerer Healer. Sorcerer's healing output is at 3 stars. Their class HUD ticks every 3 seconds, which can be less reliable compared to other classes whose HUDs tick every 2 or even 1 second. In addition, it ticks around the sorcerer, making it harder to maintain while performing kiting jobs. Their single target heal is tied to a pet that requires 2 skill slots. Offensive utility is at 4 stars. Sorcerers bring strong offensive utility with unique features like Charge Storm Atronach that provides synergy, Major Berserk to all group members, and a reliable source of concuss status effect. They have additional class synergy tied to Lightning Flood, a crystal weapon that is a source of unique 1000 penetration lasting for 5 seconds, but it might be challenging to maintain due to its stamina cost. This makes Sorcerer valuable for enhancing group damage. Defensive utility is at 3 stars. Sorcerers have decent defensive capability in the form of Vibrant Shroud that provides AoE major maim. Sorcerer ultimate cost reduction allows them to use ultimate, be it defensive or offensive, more often. While great, some other classes have better options. Ease of play is at 3 stars. Sorcerers are relatively easy to pick up and play, especially as DDs and healers. Overall, this class is manageable and versatile for various roles. At number 5 we have Arcanists. Their healing output is 4 stars. It is bolstered by extensive shielding abilities, making them highly effective in preemptive healing. Their Glyphic ultimate is relatively cheap and yields impressive HPS for heal check mechanics, for example Talaria hard mode, Yasiela hard mode, or Falgraven hard mode. Arcanist offensive utility is at 4 stars, with skills like Glyphic, which provides unique source of weapon and spell damage while delivering strong healing, and source of minor brittle and minor vulnerability from a single skill lasting for 20 seconds. And finally, they can easily source minor courage along with minor intellect and endurance from Xena's empowering disc. Arcanist defensive utility is at 3 stars. They have solid defensive utility in the form of strong shields, but they do not have too many defensive debuffs to offer. Ease of play is at 3 stars. Arcanists are relatively easy to start playing and have a manageable learning curve. While they might require some intermediate mastery to optimize fully, they are not overly complex. At number 4 we have Necromancer. Necromancer's healing output is at 1 star. Even though their class HUD has good tooltip, it requires corpse management and might be challenging to maintain on moving targets due to positioning requirements. This makes it less optimal for latest trials and dungeon encounters because of the focus on movement. Offensive utility of Necromancer is at 4 stars. Necromancer excel here with Boneyard being a source of AoE, major breach and minor vulnerability, 2 unique damage synergies, and Colossus being a reliable source of AoE major vulnerability. Necromancer's defensive utility is also at 4 star. Necromancer have strong defensive options including major cowardice from Totem. Totem also fears, that makes it a good CC for non-elite target, and they have powerful Resurrection ultimate that allows to resurrect multiple allies in combat. Necromancer offer excellent boost to offensive and defensive utility through their ultimate generation from courses in trash and fights with many adds, as they can generate so much ultimate that they can provide either more colossi, more horns, or more barriers, or more resurrection ultimates. Ease of play is at 2 stars. Necromancers are moderately complex due to their reliance on corpse mechanics and positioning. While they have strong utility, mastering their playstyle can be challenging, making them less straightforward compared to other classes. At number 3 we have the Golden Child, Templar. Templar's healing output is at 5 stars. They have unparalleled healing, with the rituals being largest and longest lasting HUD in the game, providing a powerful and reliable source of healing. The Purify synergy of the ritual cleanses debuffs and is available to all group members, making it one of the best options for Alkosh maintenance and situationally strong defensive skill. Templar offensive utility is at 1 star. It was minimized over the years as their class minor sorcery is not necessary due to equivalent buff minor brutality being available from Dragonknights, and their unique debuff minor breach can now be easily sourced from other places. Templar's defensive utility is at 2 stars. Defensive options for Templars are limited, but they do have a lot of flexible skill slots that they can fill from defensive utility from guild skill lines, alliance skill lines, and scribing system. Ease of play of Templar is at 5 stars. Templars are extremely easy to play, making them great choice for beginners. They tend to shine. You see what I did here, Templar shining in form and content, making them a good option to farm set pieces and gear up. At number 2 we have Nightblade. Nightblade's healing output is at 4 stars. Their class HUD is effective and versatile and contributes significantly to group healing. Nightblade Healers also have 8% max magic passive from siphoning skill line and unique weapon and spell damage from Grim Focus, making it easier to build for intensive healing scenarios. Nightblade offensive utility is at 3 stars. Nightblades have solid offensive utility with a source of AoE, minor vulnerability, and ability to generate high amounts of ultimate, boosting their overall effectiveness in both offensive and defensive roles. Nightblades lack class synergies as their synergy is tied to ultimate that is not commonly used in organized PvE. Nightblade's defensive utility is at 4 stars. It is pretty impressive as they have access to both minor and major cowardice, and their HUD provides movement speed bonus, aiding in repositioning and survival in high movement trials. Nightblade's ease of play is at 3 stars. They are relatively easy to start with and very versatile. They can be adjusted easily to form and content for farm, but they are harder to master as they require positioning awareness and specialized build for maximum ultimate generation. And at number 1, no surprise to anyone here, reigning supreme is Warden Healer. Warden Healer output is at 4 stars. They have competitive output comparable to Nightblades and Arcanists, but not as high as that of Templars. Their class HUD is extremely strong, but only lasts 6 seconds, so it is harder to keep up for optimal uptime. Warden's offensive utility is at 2 stars. Their previously unique minor vulnerability and AoE minor breach are now easier to source, while AoE minor brittle was somewhat nerfed by changes to charge trade, making them no longer hold significant offensive edge over other classes. Warden defensive utility is at 5 stars. Nobody can compare to a utility that Warden has to offer because they provide AoE major resolve for all team members, and they increase maximum health of team members through their minor toughness passive, making them exceptional for enhancing group survivability and handling mechanics. They also can remorph their class HUD to be a source of minor cowardice, but I don't think it's necessary anymore because you can source it from other places. Warden's ease of play is at 4 stars. They are easy to learn and manage, but require consistent upkeep of their short-lasting HUD. for peak performance. Wardens can maintain all necessary utility from range, making them great choice for cutting jobs. And they are very user-friendly and effective, making them a top choice for both new and experienced players. Now, if you are here because you're asking yourself a question, what class should you pick in order to start healing in Elder Scrolls Online? And the answer here is pretty simple. Start with Warden, because Warden has been a top choice for healing for patches and patches on end, so you are pretty safe there and you have a job security as a Warden Healer. And once you got your Warden Healer to the desirable level and geared it up, you can then expand your horizons and start creating other healing classes to play with. And at that point, you will check against the meta because it constantly shifts, and the second healer is constantly either one or the other or the third. So you will check then and focus on that class as your secondary healer. And eventually you want to get to the point, assuming you have time and energy, where you can have every healer of every class and you can switch easily from one to another. You can reuse the builds and the gear among those different classes, so you will not have to spend too much time adding new healers to your healer army. It's just leveling of the character, and at which point you will have probably friends and guild, and they will be able to help you to level characters quickly, so it's not going to be as big of a problem as starting your very first character. Making alts in ESO is extremely easy. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe, and I wish you best of luck in your Tamriel trial adventures.